The Justin Baldoni war with Blake Lively, which seems to me, initially I felt quite sorry for Blake Lively, then I've been reading all the messages between them all. Absolute weapons-grade narcissist.
Hey there, my fabulous gossip crew. It's Madison. And oh my, grab your biggest popcorn bucket, because we're diving straight into what might be the messiest Hollywood drama of the decade. If you thought the gossip was hot before, trust me, darlings, this pot is boiling over. We've got Justin Baldoni putting his entire career on the line, standing firm, refusing hush money, apologies, and letting no power couple walk all over him.
Run into somebody who seems like a witch who will take advantage of you and hurt you until finally even that kind of a guy rises up. Now, he didn't do it himself exactly. He hired a badass named Brian Friedman.
And that famous duo, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, who've gone from America's sweethearts to Hollywood's central villains in a Tinseltown meltdown. Allegedly, they tried to silence Justin, blackball him, sabotage his livelihood, and then walked away like nothing happened. Cue dramatic music because, baby, they might have underestimated Justin's determination.
And what she just said just doesn't make any sense. It's just like so silly to say. It's not a well thought out.
Hold on, sweetie, before we spill the piping hot details, do your girl a favor and hit that subscribe button. With the chaos surrounding these megastars, you know we've got an endless supply of scandal. The next 2 years are about to be wilder than any reality show, so you don't want to miss a single update. All right, let's set the stage. Sources close to the situation claim that Blake Lively has been labeled a bully, a diva, and even a narcissist, all about fame, money, and the glitzy A-list crowd. Whether that's fair or not, one thing's for sure. She has a reputation for being, shall we say,
he can still salvage his relationship with President Trump, which is like Justin Baldoni saying, I'd love to work with Blake again.
Meanwhile, Justin Baldoni is done being pushed around. He swears that Blake and Ryan tried to torch his career, thinking they'd just slide away with fabulous hair flips and clever PR stunts. But guess what, babe? The genie is out of the bottle. And there's no quirking it now. If you've been living under a rock, you may have missed the epic legal showdown where rumors say Blake and Ryan thought they could swagger into court and come out on top. Except their case hit a meltdown faster than a cheap candle. The word on the street is it was psychotic how fast their legal strategy went up in flames.
As I've said before, my first advice as a lawyer to all possible clients, don't do criming on tape. Criming on tape is stupid and bad, and don't do it.
Now, if that's not a red flag, I don't know what is. Did Blake really think a quick flick of her signature hair and a charming grin would get her off the hook? Justin isn't letting that slide, not by a long shot. He's insisting on dragging every niche secret meeting, every scandalous phone call, and every hush-hush conversation into the harsh light of the courtroom. And he's aiming for one massive haul, a $400 million lawsuit that's got Blake and Ryan looking for exit routes.
And that's why I want to personally extend my gratitude to Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively.
Because guess what, fam? Justin isn't interested in half-baked apologies or discreet settlements. He wants justice, and he wants the world to see the receipts. Meanwhile, the power couple has its own countersuit going, $250 million worth of, we are not going down without a fight. But from the outside looking in, it's coming off as a last gasp attempt by a fading star. Because let's face it, Blake's box office magic has been pretty lackluster lately. And let's not even get started on Ryan's transformation from cool, funny, guy to alleged mob boss psycho, pulling shady strings behind closed doors. If you're thinking that's a drastic shift, you're not alone.
That shouldn't be happening, by the way.
I was like, hey, and I just gave her a big hug, and I think I scared her.
My nose is so big.
Yes, I was hoping that we could address this.
Did we get here? And more importantly, how is this nuclear-level scandal likely to blow up next? Oh, we're just getting warmed up, darling. So hit that like button, buckle up, and stay right where you are because, in the next part, we're going behind the scenes of Blake and Ryan's supposed Hollywood takeover plot, and Justin's scorched earth plan to make sure every grimy detail goes public. Picture this. Justin Baldoni realizes he's up against not just one, but two Hollywood heavyweights, stars with big clout, top-tier connections, and more brand deals than a fashion influencer on Triple Espresso. Instead of rolling over, Justin decides to blow the lid right off the entire fiasco in open court. No sealed records, no NDAs, no hush-hush deals. Every time Blake tries to push for a private settlement, Every time Ryan tries to crack a joke and wave it off, Justin's legal team goes, "Nah, we're good. Let's show the world." People are calling that nuclear for a reason. See, in Hollywood, the usual playbook is to settle quietly, bury the drama, and keep the gravy train rolling. But Justin's going scorched earth, baby.
Ryan Reynolds, how's it going?
Great. Why? What have you heard?
Leaving Blake and Ryan squirming in a bright, unflattering spotlight. Let's talk about Miss Lively for a sec. Her critics paint her as the ultimate bully, high maintenance to the core, living for the attention of wealthy friends and exclusive events. Others argue she's just misunderstood. Maybe. But from the outside, you have to wonder if she's truly that unbearable. Why haven't more people spoken out earlier? Well, some folks have. Apparently, whispers suggest she had a meltdown. With WME, one of the most powerful talent agencies in the biz.
He and 9 other plaintiffs, including his publicists, have brought a $250 million lawsuit against the New York Times, essentially alleging them of libel and false light.
That she's had friction on set and that her career was already trailing off. The rhythm section was a downright flop, losing a reported $45 million. Yikes, not exactly the track record you want when you're trying to go toe-to-toe with another Hollywood name. Now, the rumor mill says Blake basically forced her way into It Ends With Us, desperate to look relevant again. But Justin calls foul. He claims she used intimidation, possibly teamed up with Ryan to cut him out, and then tried to rewrite the narrative to paint him as the problem. Except, oh sweetie, that plan apparently fell apart in record time.
They're done, and it's no wonder everyone avoided them like the plague.
TMZ just dropped a bomb on Blake Lively, and it made her day from pretty bad to devastating.
Now let's shift the spotlight to Ryan Reynolds, because this part is juicier than a soap opera love triangle. Once upon a time, he was the funny guy we all adored. Safe, smiley, comedic. Now, swirling allegations paint him as a puppet master who manipulates deals, strong-arms agencies, and basically tries to ruin anyone who threatens his or Blake's star power. Fans used to worship his witty tweets and those playful roasts he did with Blake. But behind that comedic front, rumors say he was calling up top brass at WME and other industry players, demanding they shut Justin out.
No matter what you do in life, you never, ever, ever go full Amber Heard.
First of all, congrats on your little bump.
Congrats on your little bump.
The phrase, "do what I say or you're done," apparently came up, which is giving major old-school Hollywood blacklisting vibes. You remember when big studio moguls used to muscle out actors left and right? One piece of evidence stoking this rumor is that WME abruptly dropped Justin the moment his lawsuit became official, after allegedly resisting Ryan's push for a while. Coincidence? Let's just say folks are squinting pretty hard at that timeline. Now, about that legal meltdown. Think about it, honey. That's about the time it takes to watch a short movie or enjoy a leisurely brunch. But apparently, that's all the time needed for Blake and Ryan's case to nosedive. People in the courtroom described the vibe as if the judge saw right through their arguments. Bye-bye emotions, bye-bye gag orders, bye-bye hush-hush please. It's rumored that the judge basically told them, "Nope, we're going to trial." And oh, by the way, all these attempts to keep things sealed were denied. Let's be real. If Blake hoped for a quick fix, that dream died the moment the gavel dropped. All right, let's talk big money, because in Tinseltown, if you want to make a statement, you bring out the giant lawsuits.
Words coming in from the celebrities at the Saturday Night Live 50th anniversary, asking why Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds were even there.
Justin Baldoni's claiming $400 million in damages, while Blake fired back with her own $250 million countersuit. Now look, for us everyday folks, even $1 million is mind-blowing. But we're talking about hundreds of millions, which is more money than most of us can imagine. Some are calling Justin's figure insane, while others say he's playing it smart, raising the stakes so high that the court has to take notice. Blake's countersuit, meanwhile, is looking more and more like a reactionary play, a throw money at the problem strategy. And as we've been hearing, that approach might be blowing up in her face. If you're thinking this sounds like an entire mafia saga, you're not alone. The words extortion and blackmail have been thrown around repeatedly. Ryan stands accused, By rumor, speculation, or Justin's claims of basically telling bigwigs in Hollywood, play by my rules, or you'll never work here again. People are starting to call him a psycho or even a mob boss behind the scenes. Are these allegations over the top? Possibly. But the fact remains the judge is letting this go to trial, meaning there's something that looks legit enough to keep the case rolling. And if Justin can prove that Ryan was orchestrating manipulative backroom deals, that squeaky clean image is donezo. This is a slow-cooking scandal, baby. The trial date is March 2026, meaning 2 entire years of negative headlines, depositions, leaked documents, and back-and-forth accusations. If you thought this was explosive now, imagine how much bigger it'll get when new evidence starts surfacing.
And he has badass women like me defending him. But slowly but surely, I think the male class is learning down on the floor, squirming and apologizing for being a man is not the way.
For Blake and Ryan, that is terrible news. They'll have to watch their brand deals, movie offers, and public reputation possibly circle the drain while Justin methodically pushes forward with his nuclear strategy. For fans who want the drama, well, you just hit the jackpot. This story is going to keep giving. One particularly spicy detail is that WME apparently confirmed that Ryan Reynolds was pushing them to drop Justin Baldoni. At first, they refused, but once the lawsuit was official, they caved and let Justin go. This strongly suggests that Ryan's influence in Hollywood is substantial enough to twist arms at one of the biggest agencies on the planet. It's not a good look. People are starting to wonder if Ryan did that to Justin. Who else has he pressured? Is this a pattern? The speculation is swirling, and it's not flattering. Remember when Ryan and Blake were the ultimate couple goals? They had those playful Twitter banters, that curated image of the perfect family life. Now it's meltdown central. Some fans are heartbroken. Others are just plain stunned. And still, others are like, I knew it. Celebs are always hiding something. The Team Baldoni crowd on social media cheers him on, praising his courage to stand up to 2 major celebrities at once. The Team Blake Ryan camp is oddly silent, except for a few people who suspect Justin might be stirring up trouble to boost his own relevance. Either way, it's a media circus, and the crowd loves a show like,
I think everybody in this room, no matter whose side you're on, we can all agree to accept that there's probably not going to be a sequel.
Then there's the talk about Blake allegedly trying to play the victim card, reminiscent of certain other high-profile celebrities whose claims didn't hold up. The name Amber Heard has been dropped often as a cautionary tale. People suggest that if Blake tries to paint Justin as some kind of abuser or monster, she'd better have bulletproof evidence. Otherwise, she's just inviting the internet's wrath. Complicating matters are rumors about Blake's prior controversies, mocking Kate Middleton's health scare, flipping her stance on alcohol to sell cocktail lines, and so on. Each little PR mishap might have been a small wave before, but together they're forming a tsunami of distrust. Let's keep it real. This lawsuit is shining a harsh spotlight on the manipulative side of Hollywood that people often guess about but rarely see proven. If Ryan truly forced statements, blacklisted folks, and threatened careers to protect Blake, that is some serious old-school intimidation. And if Blake actively went along with it, it shatters her relatable girl-next-door vibe. Producers, studios, and other big players are watching this fiasco closely. They're likely wondering if they support Blake and Ryan now. Are they next on Justin's list of revelations? Or if they side with Justin, do they risk angering 2 big stars with powerful brand connections? It's all a high-stakes balancing act. One of the biggest bombshells is Justin's refusal to keep this hush-hush. He's basically said, I want every single dirty detail out in the open. That has to be terrifying for Blake and Ryan if they truly have skeletons in their closet. Usually, a private settlement is the go-to remedy for big Hollywood battles. Pay the offended party, wrap it up, sign an NDA, and done. Not this time. Justin's out for blood, or at least out for the truth, depending on who you ask.
That Justin Baldoni, ultimately, by the time they got to the premiere, was mandated by Blake Lively to spend the night in the basement.
Bestie, if you haven't already, make sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because I've got my ear to the ground 24/7. You know this scandal is going to give us weekly, if not daily, drama bombs, and I'll be right here giving you the play-by-play so you never miss a beat. Until next time, I'm Madison Starr, your one and only source for scandal, shade, and the sweet satisfaction of seeing Hollywood's biggest names sweat a little. Stay messy, stay blessed, and stay tuned, honey, because if you think this is peak chaos, you clearly haven't been paying attention to Tinseltown long enough.